All right, students, we're on the final leg of our journey, and many of you are wondering how to get your Works Cited page set up. So here I am on a research paper. I'm at the conclusion. This is the very end of the text, and I'm ready to enter my Works Cited page. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a break. This basically communicates to Google Docs that I want a separate page set up for my Works Cited page. It's very important that you do this step and don't just click enter till you get to the next page. So I'm going to middle center align. As you can notice on the example I gave you, Works Cited is in the middle. Enter. I'm going to go to my left alignment, and I'm going to change this because you notice on my example it's single spaced. It's not double spaced. So I'm going to single space my Works Cited page. Now, if I have in my source information from Flea Library or Britannica, remember I showed you both of those sites have the MLA formatted source already set up for you. In this case, this student does. I'm going to highlight, copy, that's my Control-C, shortcut to copy, back to the Works Cited page, and I'm going to paste. Now, this is going to hold the same font Arial, so if I'm using Times New Roman, I need to change all of that by highlighting Times New Roman. It's already in 12 font, so I'm good there. And then I notice I've got this gray background. I can easily change that by highlighting, going up here to the highlight color, and click None. Now it has no gray background. But if you'll notice, I still have a difference in this one and this one, for example. Notice that the first line, unlike your paragraphs, is not indented, but the second and any subsequent line is indented. Watch how I'm going to do that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the second line. I'm going to hit Enter. If you did everything correctly the way I just showed you, nothing should happen, but something did happen. It freed it, which means that it allowed me to hit the tab button and indent it. Otherwise, let me back up and I'll show you what happens if you don't do that. If you don't hit enter, the whole thing, the first part, excuse me, will go over, will indent. We don't want that. So you have to hit enter, tab, tab again, backspace. So that's how I set that up. Now that's just one. Remember, I need 3. So I'm ready to go to my next one now. And that's where I'm going to leave a space. So I'm going to go back to my source information and see if this student has any other sources ready to go. Not seeing any. So that means that I'm going to have to do some work. I'm going to have to go back to the book. This might be a book that she was using. And I'm going to have to go into my colored folder and use my Works Cited cheat sheet, which is also in Schoology, to remember how do I set up a book citation or an encyclopedia or a magazine or whatever it may be. That is in your colored folder. It's also in Schoology. And remember, one of the most important things about Works Cited page is it has to be alphabetized. So if I'm going with an article about dyslexia, and I know that it's called dyslexia, that is obviously going to be before Shaw, because D comes before S in the alphabet. So you have to keep in mind that you are alphabetizing your Works Cited page.